Okay, so there seems to be a lot of confusion going on about this Moulse Thader creature. So it's one and black for 2/2 marry creature. Marry is his new archetype, so it makes sense there would be a card like this. So it has a lot of skills or abilities or effects or abilities or skills or
Hearts, light, darkness, darkness, light, light.
Mitä vittua tää tarkoittaa?
whatever they are. So first up, when Moulse Thader enters the battlefield, if a green creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, that's the end. 10. Destroy each creature you control you
Fuck these!
tap you control 2. You gain 2 life. Fuck me.
Fuck
me. So, if a green creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, so when this card enters the battlefield, you have to have another card that has an ability that says when another creature enters the battlefield, a green creature gets +1/+1 or something like that. Something that gives a green creature +1/+1. Then this ability triggers. So once it triggers, you destroy each creature you control half tap, you gain 2 life. So destroy is a new mechanic. It's like this. So destroy is a new mechanic. It's kind of like destroying, but you destroy again. Re-destroy. It's a fusion of two words. Re, like do again, and destroy, so destroy again. So destroy again each creature you control have. I think there's a typo here. So it means that each creature you have that has this ability, tap, you gain 2 life. So if you have a creature that has an ability, tap, you gain 2 life, you can destroy it twice. Which means it dies and goes to your graveyard, but then it dies again, so it goes into your exile. So it's double dead. It's destroyed. Now, abilities those say when a creature enters the graveyard or leaves the graveyard, those abilities trigger. So you can combo this pretty well. You can combo this pretty well with something like that. It's pretty neat, I would say. I think there's a lot of uses for it. So, then there's more abilities. Next up, prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to Moulse Thader. This is just always. Like, always. Prevent the next 2 damage. However, I believe there's this kind of once per battle limit, or once per effect limit. So any damage that would be done to this creature is reduced by 2, which means that its defense is in fact 4. But if if your opponent controls anything that says that your this marry creature's abilities don't trigger, then its defense is ass fuck. Okay. Then there's the third ability. Mother creatures in your graveyard from Mother creatures in your graveyard from your graveyard. In your graveyard? Okay. Activate this ability, only tap each player. Activate this ability, only tap each player controls bed or blocking. or blocking creatures. Miksi on jumalta kertaa? So, mother creatures in your graveyard from your graveyard. This is the first step. In your graveyard. From your graveyard! Hey! So, this just means that you can basically when a matter creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard, it just says in your graveyard, just to be sure. Like, they have to be in your graveyard and then come from your graveyard, not from the graveyard. So, matter creatures in your graveyard from your graveyard. So another ability or card that you have has to trigger this by calling the matter creature from your graveyard. So when the matter creature enters the battlefield, this begins. So activate this ability, only tap each player controls, and so on. So when this ability activates, only tap each player controls. So mitä vittua tää tarkoittaa? Only tap each player controls bed or blocking creatures. Now the last part is important. Blocking, as in Brock from Pokemon? No, this is a new mechanic. It's Japanese blocking. It works by folding your katana into an origami. Then you can brock. So when you brock, if you don't brock a bed or tap a bed, then this ability triggers. Easy as that. It's simple. Then there's the fourth ability. So 0 mana and 1 green. So the 0 is important because you have to make sure not to pay anything, but you have to pay 1 green. I believe that 1 green mana has to be in your mana pool without you adding it there. Wow. Look at the top card of his or her library into your graveyard to the battlefield. So you have to look at the top card of his or her library. It doesn't have to be your opponent's. Anybody's library. Into your graveyard. You have to use your mind powers to look their library, their entire collection of books, into your own graveyard, and then to the battlefield. So basically you use your mind bullets to move a library into a graveyard, and then the graveyard becomes the battlefield. So I mean, it's a really good card. You just have to know how to use it. Now, this is what Magic the Gathering is becoming bit by bit. It's just a confusing mess. But when you know how to play it, it's like really fun. Just like pendulums are in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not confusing at all. God damn it!